Welcome to episode 2, Growing Good Health.
Welcome to the Wellbeing Garden, where you'll learn, grow and thrive with expert horticulturalist Kath Manuel.
Hello and welcome to the Wellbeing Garden. I'm Kath Manuel. In this episode, I'm going to share with you simple ways that you can enjoy gardening to help improve health and well-being for yourself and for others. We'll look at the health benefits from connecting with nature and the fun things you can do to nourish your body, mind, and soul. As an avid gardener, I regularly experience improvements in my well-being from time spent outdoors connecting with nature. There's something called biophilia, and it's within all of us. It means that we have an innate connection to nature, and when we have that connection with nature, it boosts our emotional well-being and the health of our body and our mind and our soul. So it is an amazing thing to connect with nature regularly and get that feeling of biophilia. You can use nature to improve the health of your body, which is that physical benefit. So getting out and spending time in the garden actually burns calories. It encourages weight loss, which is a great cardio workout, and it improves our strength and our flexibility. If you want to strengthen your leg muscles, you can do that by simply walking around the garden, especially if you wear gardening boots. And I know when I've spent time around the garden, walking around in my gardening boots, it is great for toning my leg muscles. So remember that one, girls. For great, strong, toned legs, you can spend time in the garden with your work boots on. It also helps to tone your arms and your upper body. So when you're lifting gardening things, using a wheelbarrow, digging holes, doing some pruning and lifting your hands above your head, you're actually toning your arms and also your upper body. It's better to enjoy the outdoors, I think, for fitness and to work on my physical health. I would much rather do that out in the garden than spend time in a stinky air-conditioned gym. I really don't enjoy that at all. I would much rather look after my health and well-being outside rather than inside in a sweaty gym. Also saves money as well. So for the mind, we have our psychological benefits. The gardening and spending time in nature reduces stress and anxiety. Beat depression and melancholy by heading outside and allowing Mother Nature to nurture you. This helps to reduce the severity or the impact of depression. It can assist with lifting the spirit or mood in people who are feeling very low. There's actually loads of research to back this up. Playing in the garden actually calms the nerves, it reduces blood pressure, it decreases the stress hormone cortisol, and it increases serotonin, which is that happy hormone, which is what we all want to feel as much of the time as possible. If you work or volunteer in aged care or community support industry or as a carer, then gardening is a wonderful lifestyle activity for your residents and your clients. Gardening brings joy, and I always think about the Audrey Hepburn quote, "To plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow." This provides purpose and meaning to life. It's really good for people who are socially isolated and people who spend a lot of time indoors. Get them out into the garden, get them spending time with others and enjoying nature and the fresh air. When growing and eating fresh food, we are nurturing our body and our soul. Homegrown food is packed with good health and vitality. I've written so many articles on this topic, and I love to share with people that don't actually realize by growing homegrown food, growing it organically, it is packed with healthy nutrients and the vitality that our bodies actually need. Having healthy soil in the garden means that we're growing healthy food. And when we're growing healthy food and eating it, we're actually getting the healthy nutrients and vitality into our bodies. So you can imagine the benefits that we're gaining from having healthy soil and having a really healthy garden, growing that beautiful nutrient-packed food, feeding it to our bodies and also the bodies of our family, and also sharing it with others. You can imagine everything that you're gaining to improve your health and well-being through highly nutritious food. One of my favorite things to grow is parsley. I just love the stuff. It's packed with vitamins and minerals, and it's especially high in vitamin C. And recently I've actually read an article that scurvy is on the increase because people aren't getting fresh fruit and vegetables into their diets. They're lacking vitamin C, which means that there's an increase in symptoms of scurvy. So if you're growing food like parsley and other herbs, you're getting all those nutrients and minerals into your body. Parsley is a great one. It's very easy to grow. It can be grown in any part of the garden. It can be grown in containers if you live in an apartment or a small space. Parsley is one of the easiest and tastiest things to grow. You can use it as a garnish in all your meals. Add it to your morning green smoothies or your shakes, and I also like to add in some fresh mint as well. You can put it in salads, in wraps, actually pretty much anything that you cook. You can add fresh parsley too. I put it in everything. Now my kids are getting used to eating it, and it's something that they now eat, and they don't actually pick it out so much anymore. The other great benefit of growing your own food is that everything you harvest and eat in the first hour, that's the first 1 hour of being picked, the food has its highest nutrient content and vitality in that first 1 hour. So just imagine now walking out to your garden, picking something fresh like parsley or lettuce or some kale or something you can add to your lunch or to the meal you're about to cook. Eating it in that first 1 hour, you are getting every nutrient available from that plant. After that 1 hour, the nutrients diminish, and they diminish rapidly. So also have a think about the fresh fruit, fresh greens, foods, herbs that you have at the supermarket. How long have they been sitting there? Have they been sprayed with chemical sprays? Have they been transported from another location? Maybe they've been sitting there for a week or 2 weeks. From harvest time to eating time, those nutrients are pretty much diminished. And if that's all you're eating, you're not getting the nutrients into your body that you deserve and that you need. So grow something fresh and eat it every day, even if it's some parsley, some chives, some citrus, maybe a lemon or a lime or an orange, but get something fresh from your garden every day into your bodies, into your families, to your friends. You are all going to feel those incredible health benefits from that fresh food. Plus, you add all those amazing benefits that you've gained from actually getting out there and growing these foods. Imagine how good you're going to feel. So if you can, eat something fresh from your garden every day and eat it in that first 1 hour that you've gone out and picked it. The other wonderful thing that you can do for your body and mind is to grow some medicinal herbs. Now, medicinal herbs are grown as medicines. Traditionally, there's a range of herbs that have been grown over the centuries that have been used as a medicine, and many of these are available to grow in your garden now. So get a few medicinal herbs in and use those as a form of medicine, maybe before you go and get other medicines, the pharmaceutical products or products from the chemist. Try some fresh medicinal herbs first. One of my favorites to grow is lemon balm. It's also called Melissa. But lemon balm is a beautiful little herb. It grows very similar to mint. It likes to grow in a container in a part shady, part sunny location. It's wonderful for calming the nerves. So if you find you are feeling a little stressed or a little anxious, great for someone going into maybe exams, kids going into exams, or anyone actually going to a situation that they're finding quite stressful. A cup of soothing lemon balm is really going to counteract that stress and calm the mind before that situation or after something has occurred. Lemon balm is a wonderful plant to grow. I have written a blog a couple of years ago on growing lemon balm, so I will make sure I add the link to that in the show description so you can read all about how to grow lemon balm. The other wonderful thing to do is garden with others. Now, gardening with others creates friendship, it improves self-esteem, it gives us a feeling of belonging and purpose, and we can help others, which gives our life meaning. Plus, we get to share the fresh food that we all grow, which is amazing. So harvest the amazing health benefits of gardening, and also try a few of my simple ideas. Here's a couple of things that you can actually get started on right now. So to gain the health benefits from gardening, you just have to spend 20 to 30 minutes. You can spend more. I can spend a few hours in the garden, but you only need 20 to 30 minutes in the garden, connecting with nature to get all the amazing health benefits offered to you. All you need is 30 minutes. I've actually written an article on this one as well, so I will put a link in the show description, and then you can have a read through and look at the list I've given you of suggestions for gardening activities or fun things to do to enjoy your garden for just 30 minutes. Okay, so you're getting all those amazing health benefits from spending 30 minutes out in your garden, which is wonderful. I find that really good when I've got dinner cooking or the kids are doing something and I can just grab 20 or 30 minutes and I can head outside. Wonderful for reducing any stresses from the day, just to relieve any anxiety maybe, just to relax or just to even meditate or have a lovely space to unwind from the day. So head outside for 30 minutes and you'll feel so much more amazing for that. Another tip is to follow organic growing practices. Now, as an organic gardener and a big fan of sustainable lifestyles, it's a wonderful thing to always grow using organic growing methods. It is great for us and it is great for the earth. And it's especially good if you're running horticultural therapy programs or gardening with people that may be at risk if you're going to be using chemicals or other nasty substances in the garden. So I suggest ditching all those and make sure that you follow organic gardening practices. Again, there's information at soil2supper.com, which is my website. I'll share more links with you on ways that you can grow an organic garden. It's really, really important to our health and also to the health of our planet. Another little thing you can do is grow the foods that you enjoy the most. So I love to grow, as I mentioned, my parsley and my lemon balm. I like to make sure that I have some pumpkin growing, some fresh citrus, some lovely leafy greens, just to be able to throw a good healthy meal together. Now I will include another link for you. I'm going to fill this episode up with lots of information. I wrote an article called 5 Foods That I Always Grow. And these are just the basics that I have in my garden, and they're there whenever I need something or when I want to just pull a nice fresh healthy meal together. I know I've got these always available, and then I can add other seasonal fruits and vegetables and herbs to my garden. But grow the foods that you enjoy the most. Obviously, if you grow food that nobody in your family or your household's going to eat, that's going to be a waste of money and time. And also, if you want to have fresh food regularly, grow that food and ensure you've got it growing in good supply as much of the year as you can. Obviously, with seasonal variations, there'll be other things that you'll be wanting to grow, but make sure you've got those fresh foods out in your garden. Share your abundance with family and friends. I love this one. At times, there's an overabundance of produce, and I know there's times that the pumpkins are just going crazy out in our garden. So anyone that comes to visit our home, I usually send them home with a pumpkin or some lemons or some limes, fresh herbs from the garden. Anything that I have abundance of, I love to share. Now, there is a wonderful website called Spare Harvest. It's spareharvest.com. I'll include a link in the description for today's episode. Head over to Spare Harvest and register. You'll find me registered there. And if you've got any abundance from your garden, or if you've got gardening pots or other gardening resources or equipment that other gardeners might use, you can share it with them and everyone then can benefit from it. So you might want to swap food, you might want to swap gardening resources, you might want to sell some of the things you have. But Spare Harvest is a wonderful place that you can share amongst your community. You can get to know other gardeners and growers in your area and share the abundance that you have. Because once you get a healthy garden growing, I can guarantee you'll have abundance of things and you'll start wondering, what can I do with all this? So get to know other gardeners, share your food with other people that maybe can't access fresh food or can't afford fresh food. Head over to spareharvest.com and register there. So the other thing that, a big tip that I always share whenever I give any talk or presentations on the topic of gardening for health and well-being and growing good health is ensure gardening is a pleasure, not a chore. Once gardening becomes a chore, it becomes stressful. It causes frustration. It causes anxiety and all those other emotions that we just don't want to feel from gardening. Gardening is meant to be fun. Gardening is meant to be relaxing, have all those amazing health benefits that I've just already mentioned. Once it becomes a chore, it has an opposing effect. Okay, instead of reducing your stress, it's going to increase your stress. Instead of being relaxing, it's going to be a nightmare. It's going to give you a headache. You don't want that. That's having an adverse effect and creating more stress in your life. So my suggestion is, once gardening starts to feel a little stressful or it becomes a chore, just stop. Okay, just stop. Your garden will always be there. It will be there when you're ready to come back, but just take a break. One of the things that I like to do, especially during December and January, where I live in Queensland, Australia, it becomes really hot here in December and January. Okay, so I don't get as much time in my garden. At times, like we do right now, we don't have a lot of water, so I can't get out there and water my garden. I find my soil dries up and a lot of my plants do suffer. So to take some pressure off myself and the garden at that busy, hot time of year, I'll throw out a few good handfuls of blood and bone into the garden. I'll clean up some weeds. I'll clean up garden areas. I'll cover them in a layer of mulch, whether that's hay mulch or cane or some other form of mulch that you might have. I give it a good hose off if I've got some water available, and I'll allow the bed to rest. It's called to fallow, which means we're letting the soil just have a rest, take a break. I can take a little bit of a break during these really hot, busy months because we've got Christmas and New Year involved in those months as well. I can have a bit of a rest and spend more time with my family doing some other things. And I know that my garden and my soil is having a break as well. The soil is getting reinvigorated by the fertilizer that I've put in there. And when I'm ready to head back out to the garden, usually around the end of, say, January, coming into February, I'm going to be planting my cooler autumn crops by then. I know that I've had a good rest. My garden's had a good rest. We've usually got some water and it's time to get going again. So I've reduced the stress and I've reduced the pressure and just taken a little bit off myself and expecting so much of my garden all the time. Our garden can't be perfect. It can't be producing food 12 months of the year. So it's good just to take a little bit of a rest, and then gardening ends up a pleasure and a joy once more. Another little thing is spend time with other gardeners, either in a community garden or a gardening group. If you're in an aged care facility and you're, say, the lifestyle coordinator, or you're the staff that's involved in activities within your facility, start a gardening group and regularly get out with people once a week or a couple of times a week and share your knowledge with each other, share what you're growing, have fun, enjoy a tea or a coffee together, and really just enjoy that time together, sharing with others who also have a passion for gardening. Now, the other tip is ask for help, and that's what I'm here for. So I'm here to help you grow. If you have any problems, you can contact me via soil2supper.com and ask questions. I love hearing from other gardeners and also helping solve any problems that you may have. So my last thing to share with you today is, if you begin each day with the belief that you'll learn, grow, and thrive, you will. So thanks so much for joining me in the Wellbeing Garden. I hope you're inspired to boost your well-being through gardening and nature and healthy food. For more information on organic gardening and horticultural therapy, head over to soil2supper.com. I'll put some extra links into today's episode notes with information and ideas for gardening for well-being. And I'll also be posting a blog of this episode at soil2supper.com so you can read more information there. If you know someone that would benefit from learning to grow, please share the links with them. Maybe you could garden together or share your produce. See you next time in the Wellbeing Garden.